Hey, what's up, guys? We're here. So I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face, but we are currently reliving 2020, where there are constant campaigns trying to put pressure on sponsors and force them to drop content creators for having problematic opinions or content that they produce. And unfortunately, this is happening yet again with a VTuber who has been removed from a partnership for, well, violating community guidelines of the company. And the specific reason as to why that happened, we do not know at the moment. And basically, it just leaves you to fill in the gap for yourself. And a lot of people are doing that. And a lot of people are questioning the decision and whether or not it was fair. And in my opinion, I think this whole thing is very unfair and unneededly cruel. And I'll explain why I mean that in just a second. But the company I'm talking about is Makeship, a company that makes plushies. They're pretty popular, and they also dropped me. Yeah, that's right. If you know the deep lore, about a year ago, after around 7 successful campaigns between me and my wife and selling thousands of plushies, they dropped us and made it very clear that we were not going to work with them anymore. And it was a giant mess of a situation. And we got some reasoning that I shared in that video right there. If you want to check out the full context, you can watch that. But basically they said I produce edgy content and that doesn't line up with their values. Very vague and open-ended. And what's even crazier is they said right here, referring to my wife, given her close association with me. Yeah, the close association. We're married, by the way. But they said guilt by association. Just because you're married to him, you're gone. Now, of course, they would turn around and apologize for that and give her the opportunity to keep working with them, but obviously she wasn't going to do that. But yeah, they did the old you don't line up with the values open-ended reason for this. And as you know, nothing changed and no specific examples were provided, but that was a big mess. And I say all this to give some context as to what we're dealing with now, because what we're dealing with now involves a VTuber named Celestium, who had this plushie that was in the works with Makeship here, and she has lost that campaign. And as you can see, she is a Christian content creator. She's very open about her beliefs, and a lot of people are seeing and making assumptions as to how that played into this decision. But yeah, she actually funded. She got the necessary amount of support to do this. Over 200 was required, and she did that as a small content creator, which is really, really impressive. But that adds to the cruelty of this, right? It adds to the cruelty because she got all the way to the finish line, and this thing was about to be put into production, and then they ripped it away. And I think from everything I've seen, I've been following her for a while, I can't imagine a legitimate reason, unless I'm totally missing something, as to why this would be an appropriate action. And she would announce this on Twitter saying, "Hi everyone, thank you so much for the support during my Makeship campaign. Unfortunately, earlier today I was informed that Makeship will not be going through with the campaign despite successfully funding the campaign with over 200 supporters. As of my Discord announcement this morning, they said I violated community/creator guidelines based on unspecified tweets. All campaign contributions will be refunded. Please reach out to Makeship if your refund is not processed. Thank you so much for your continued support. God bless you all." So yeah, that part really rubbed me and a lot of people the wrong way. Violating community/creator guidelines based on unspecified tweets. Now, maybe they give an actual reason. Apparently that might be happening soon. But as of right now, people are basically filling in the gaps. Unspecified. When you hear an unspecified tweets or tweets being the reason someone's being dropped or punished by a company, I generally believe that's because if they revealed the actual tweets, it would make them look really bad, as in the company for letting them go. Because in this case, I have a strong feeling, this is just my opinion, I'm not speaking for anyone else, this is my opinion, I have a strong feeling they're going to be religious based, which would make Makeship look really bad. If that's true, if that's the tweets in question, that's a really bad look, okay? And Celestium would make a video talking about this. I'm going to play a small clip, but if you want to watch the full video and support her as well, I'm going to put a link to this video, and you can find all of our other socials through there. I'm going to put that in the description. Make sure to check her out and support her. But let's hear a little more information about this situation.
And when I was given the opportunity in the last couple months to work Makeship, I thought it was, kind of a dream come true. While I do feel frustrated, while I'd love to give a ton of more information, we will not be proceeding with Makeship. I hope you guys get your refund soon. It's taking a lot to kind of hold down the anger, but I hope that you can understand. I also recently left the Advanced GG for, their lack of support towards creators, and it's very unfortunate that a similar thing has happened with Makeship. But even though this is a door slammed in my face, this isn't the first door that has been slammed in my face. And it most definitely will not be the last one either. But I have faith in Christ that, more doors will open. And I have you all as an amazing community to back me up in these difficult times. I'm not a perfect person, but I think I've been pretty respectful so far towards a lot of people. Even when I have not gotten that same respect back, whether it be about my beliefs or maybe the way I talk or maybe, maybe my content, who knows at this point really. Regardless of this struggle, regardless of the store closing, I'm not going to give up on being a content creator. I'm not going to give up on sharing, who I am and what I believe in. Because at the end of the day, I would rather stand for what I believe in than ever cave in.
So I think based on hearing that, you can understand why she can't get into specifics, and that's probably a smart thing until she gets some more information, and hopefully she gets more specific examples of why this is all occurring. But you get the sense that she seems like a very kind person, and also, I have to commend her for standing on her beliefs and dropping Advanced as a result of what happened to me and Straub. That is something that is very hard, especially for a smaller content creator who has opportunities like that. It's hard to walk away from things. And I've been someone who walked away from some cool opportunities because I saw how companies were treating those who were also participating, and I just would not support it. So yeah, I understand it's hard to walk away from things, but you'll feel a lot better about yourself when you stand by your principles, and that's what she did. But yeah, this is a bummer. It's a real bummer. And until we get some specific reasons here, like people are filling in the gaps, and it doesn't look good for Makeship, as you might imagine. There seems to be like a pattern going on here with these vague statements about values and guideline violations without giving specific reasons. But yeah, this is just kind of a bad situation. Again, I'll put a link to this video in the description. And also, as she mentioned, if you need a refund, go get a refund. And to go with what she's been saying in her video and across Twitter as well, she's not someone who wants anyone harassing Makeship. And yeah, I think that's the fair approach here. Like, if you want to do something about these companies as a customer, you speak with your wallet. If you don't like these sorts of things happening, don't support the companies who are doing these things. That's really as simple as it gets. And also, I'm happy to see this update here. Apparently, Leaflet, or as a certain bald man calls her, Leafit, is going to be helping out Celestium with a new plushie, and it's going to be a Fumo, which is really cool. And good luck to her on that. And I'll use this last part to make a little selfish announcement, ladies and gentlemen. Please forgive me. We're on the topic, and there's been a lot of noise about sponsorships and things. I'm just going to say very vaguely that if you're looking forward to my plushie, a new one, get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost here, and we'll see some previews of that very, very soon. But anyways, again, if you want to follow her socials, it'll be there in the description. It's always important to support people like this when they're going through BS with companies. And yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you next time.